Hey, it's working. Hi everyone, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet, and I'm coming to you from the camper, and you are vicariously propped up on a stacked bunch of stuff. So let's see how this works out. I forgot to bring my little tabletop tripod, so I don't, we'll just keep our fingers crossed that this stays. Let's see, today is Friday. I did check and now I don't remember, 28th or 29th or something like that of May. And this is Chum Chatter 61. I checked on that too, but then I had all these setup problems and it wasn't real important. But I will make sure the Charm Chatter number is right and YouTube will put in the right date. So there you go. Let's see. So, a couple of things. As I said, I'm in the camper. It is a very gloomy, rainy, yucky day, and this is what you get for hair. So, sorry for that. But I was reading the comments in some of my, other videos, and Sherry asked a question on the Darla top. And I know she has a very, very lengthy name for it that I can't remember. Easy Breezy Summer Top by Darla, which I do not have with me in the camper because I was reading these comments on the way to the camper, and I didn't bring that top with me. But I told her that I would answer her question, and I won't have that top linked in this video at the time of publication, but I will link it later. But I don't think I'll get it linked here. Maybe I will. I will try. Anyway, it is linked in other videos, and you can go to Darla's station. Darla, the owl. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't even think of it right now. Crafty Yarn Owl with Darla. Darla the Crafty Yarn Owl. She knows who she is. I know you guys all know who she is. Anyway, she made that really cool top, and I had to make it wider to go around my body and I didn't want long sleeves, because to make it long enough to go around my midsection, my sleeves would have been, down to here. Not quite, but so what I did anyway was I made it exactly the way Darla said to make it, but just made it wide enough that it would go over to the ends of my shoulders where I wanted it to be. So, and I don't remember the number, but excuse me, maybe it's 10 rows, and then you do the split for the neck, and then you do the next 10 rows, and it's that wide, which would be probably the size of a medium. I think I did 10, maybe 12 rows with Chloe. Hers would be more on the small side, and I think I added like 1 row on each side for Amanda. Or maybe 14 was the total altogether. I don't remember. So maybe it was 7 rows. Anyway, Darla will tell you how to do that part. Then when I added, that was only covering half of my chest. Well, 3/4. But it was leaving a great deal of space on the sides. Let's just go with that. And so what I did, and I wouldn't do it this way. I mean, the first one I don't know of any other way to do it. So then I just counted up how many stitches to my arms, to where I thought I wanted the armholes to go, how many V's total. And I started on the back, and I worked up V's back and forth, back and forth. I tried, because I wanted it to like curve. I was not very good at that. But I was trying to go like, say it was 15 stitches to come up to like here, and then the next row I did 14, and then I tried doing that, and then coming back up the other side I didn't, and then attaching on the last row. It didn't round out very evenly, so then I did a couple of rows of, I think, just single or maybe half double crochet around the armhole to make it look better. If I were to make another one for myself, because then I had to do that on the reverse side. So it was actually like making 2 extra panels. Now I think I would just count the stitches, you know, up from the first one and do the second one. But that's how I did it. Probably not the easiest way to do it, you know, and then every couple of rows, like I'm checking, you know, putting it on and checking around as I go to see how close I am to making it fit. And then doing the second side was easy because you just copied over what you did with the first side. So it wasn't terrible to do it that way. It was the best way I could figure out to do it. So if I made another one, excuse me, McDonald's blue raspberry. If I did another one, I would like kind of copy off the first one. I'm trying to think, when I was doing it, after I did it, I thought, oh, this would have been a better way to do it like this or do it like that. And to be honest, I can't remember what that is now because that was several crochets ago. And, you know, I'm older and I don't remember if I didn't write it down. And I didn't write down everything. I wrote down some stuff, but that's in my crochet journal back at home. But that is what I did. I just took the back and worked to the front, or took the front and worked to the back, whatever made the V's go in the right direction, and just added rows until it was the right size. It's not perfect, but probably, yeah, according to my daughter, not noticeable, and my granddaughter, they you know, where I see, oh, I could have done this better, or I could have done that better, they don't see that. As non-crocheters, now Amanda is crocheting, maybe she would catch it better, I don't know. She's never made a top, so I don't think so. And it doesn't look bad. Maybe a little bit in the arms. They're not completely even, because again, I went whatever direction was going to make the V's go in the right way. So I think it was like back to front on one and front to back on the other. So now I think I would just go with the lowest count on the stitches on the side, and say that count was 10, and then the next row go 11, the next row 12, up until I would get to, you know, whatever, and then go the whole length all the way around. And then, but you're still, if you do that, you still have to add in on the opposite end. So that's what I did. Right, wrong, or in between. That's how I made it work. So that's that. That question is answered. And then I want to show you, I have still been working on Amanda's shawl. I'm not done with the second cake yet. But I have added 2, and I'm still having the same problem. I just can't, you know, it's simple stitching. And I don't know if I'm just not paying close enough attention. But again, every time I'm off somewhere. But now that I'm not going by the pattern numbers, I'm only off by like 1 stitch instead of 4 or 5. So I'm just making sure that each side is bigger than the side before. You know, each row is bigger than the row before, and the same number of stitches on each side. So if I've got 100 on this side, I got to make sure I have 100 on that side, and I'm going on with it. I don't know. It's just half double crochet 1 row, and then treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1. So the stitches are easy, and for some crazy reason I can't seem to count when I do this shawl. And then I'll go back and I'll say, oh dang, I didn't skip 1. Well, you dummy, now you know. Or how did I get 2 in that one? I mean, it's stupid idiot things, but I keep doing stupid idiot things and ripping back and you know, fixing that. But when I was following the pattern, I don't know why my stitch counts would be off 5. Like, it's perfect on this side and off 5 on that side. And I don't know. Now I'm just off by like 1. and I'll go back and look for it. If I see it, then I'll fix it. If I'm not seeing it, I'm like, I don't know where the 1 is. I don't know. I'll just add it or take it away, whatever happens. Just whatever makes it look nice. But I don't know why I was always so off with the pattern numbers. So, and you know, if I ripped it out and did it again, and sometimes ripped it out twice, I could get the right number eventually. but I don't know what I was doing wrong. So, love the pattern. It's not the pattern. It's totally me. But now it's easier. But I am counting every single row. So that I'm not off by 5 somewhere along the line. Like, oh, all of a sudden now I've got one arm that's 4, like 4 inches longer on one side. So I am counting every other row, or every row, which is making it a much longer task than what I want it to be. So I got a little bored, and I did work a little bit on the neon blanket, which, oh, it's under my phone, so we can't see that. I just added a row of black to a couple of them. And then I started a new whip, because I gave my original neon blanket to Avery. She asked for it when I was making it. And is this a problem? Is that where I'm getting this glare? Oh, maybe that's a little better, huh? Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay. So, anyway, I gave the neon blanket to Avery because she asked for it when I was making it. She liked it and she wanted it, and so I gave it to her when it was done. I did not give a blanket to Ariana because she didn't ask for one, and she didn't really seem to care about it when I was making it. But then her sister got something and she didn't, and you know how that goes. So Ari is having a birthday, and so I gave, Avery hasn't had her birthday party yet because of the corona. We haven't done her birthday party, which her birthday was in March. So I did see them once we were allowed to get together as groups of 10, or very close to that time. We did get together for, I think it was Easter. And I gave Avery the blanket and a lovey. I gave it to her and I said, this is part of your birthday present. But it's late, but it's early for your party, but I want you to have it now, and blah, blah, blah. She was excited. Ari was a little upset. And Ari's going to be 8 in July. She understands. I mean, mentally, she understands. It's part of Avery's birthday present, but it was also past Mother's Day, and I gave my daughter-in-law a Mother's Day gift. Oh, wait, it was Mother's Day that we got together. They came over for Mother's Day, and so Mary had a birthday, and I had a birthday present / because it was Mother's Day gift for her. Normally I don't do Mother's Day gifts for my daughter or daughter-in-laws. They're not my mom. They need to give me gifts, right? But I didn't get together with her for her birthday, so I gave her her birthday present, and then Randy got a gift as well, and we are calling it a Father's Day present, even though we don't do Father's Day presents for him. But really, it was just Roy found this really cool thing for Randy, and so we bought it, and so we gave it to him. So Ari, and the girls both got sticker books. So Ari did get a sticker book, but she didn't get any like gift special, which I really hadn't thought about that. I mean, she got a sticker book, Avery got a sticker book, Avery got a birthday present. But Ari was hurt. Ari's feelings were a little bit hurt, and I never meant to do that. So, long story short, I decided after I did my Grafgan owl that I would make a blanket for Ari. I was going to give her, or started working feverishly on my second neon blanket, the one that I was going to keep at the camper, and I thought I'll give that one to Avery or to Ari, and then they'll have matching blankets. And how cute is that? Because they do a lot of matchy stuff. And I had thought that maybe I would use white to trim it in instead of black, but I didn't like it trimmed in the white. And then Amanda said, make her own blanket. And I'm like, oh goodness, okay, but I don't know what to make. Then I did the owl, and I loved it. And I thought, I would love to make her a Grafgan with her name in it. How cool would that be? Teal is her favorite color. And I have this yarn. This is a Dreamweaver, and I only brought one because that's what's in my whip basket. I know it won't require more than one to make her name in this color. And it's just a teal, and I don't know what the yarn is. I'm going to assume a Red Heart Super Save, a Red Heart yarn, because most of those Dreamweaver yarns are Red Heart yarns. I can match the colors perfectly to a lot of the Red Hearts. So I decided, I went on Stitch Fiddle because one of my subscribers mentioned it, and Terry from Yarn Joy Podcast mentioned it on the owl tutorial that she does with her whole fall. You guys probably seen it now. She has a spring one. She just came out with her summer banner, you know, thing that my owl Grafgan was from. So I will try to link that too. I'll link the tutorial one. She has patterns on the next two. And I think you got to get those from her Etsy shop. So anyway, I went to Stitch Fiddle. I don't know how you do that. I mean, I understand I can drag a picture in. I was trying to create it, and I watched YouTube videos on how to do this. My technology is just so bad these days. I don't understand. I watched a video on how to do. I watched 2 videos on how to work with Stitch Fiddle. You can drag a picture in and make a Grafgan that way, but you can make a graph, and like it looks like graph paper, and then you can color on it. I said I wanted it, and I did in my swatch. I even swatched, you guys. I swatched. So I did a swatch, and it says that my squares are about 1 inch. So, okay, cool. I want it to be about 60 inches wide, 60 inches, 60 by 60 was what I was trying to go with. Well, I don't know. The graph was telling me 72. Oh, I wanted 60 inches, so I would need 72 squares. Okay. It came up with this thing. It's not a big graph. It's like it had 143 numbers on there. I'm like, no, this isn't right. And I couldn't. I screwed around with that in between doing other things for 4 hours, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I whipped out my graph paper, and I don't know if you can see. I hope you can see. I taped 4 pieces of graph paper together. And I made this. It says Ariana in the center. And then I put these little butterflies that I got, and 3 of them on there. And I got this butterflies. The A and the R, or some of the letters I could just make. I just practiced, and I made, you know, this size by this size. The N and the R I Googled. I just Googled block pixel graph letters, and it came up, and so then I copied what it had. And then I Googled pixel butterflies, graph pixel butterflies or whatever, and they came up with a bunch. And so I copied that image, just drew it out based on the squares, like I was taught to do in like 7th grade or something. We had to take a candy bar wrapper and enlarge it on graph paper. Square, like square by square. And so anyway, this is what I've designed, and I am that far up. So I haven't hit any of the letters yet, or butterflies. I do believe I have the same type of yarn that I'm going to show you in these colors, but I'm not sure. So I think I only brought 1 ball of this with me. I did. Unless it's hiding in this basket. So I might be done with this real soon until I get home. But it's these colors. And I believe, again, this is Dreamweaver yarn. And I believe that it is, you know, it almost, as I'm working with it, it feels like, and has a little bit of a sheen to it, like Caron Simply Soft. Aren't the colors beautiful? And like I said, teal is her favorite color. So, let me show you. This is what I have so far. I'm like 25 or 6 stitches, you know, up the side or down the bottom or whatever. So, you know, corner to corner, and I'm going from this corner. So it'll go this direction, not this direction. And, oh, sorry. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. And I think, like, the teal is darker this teal is darker, so it'll stand out. That's my hope. And then I think that I have a blue and a green in a similar yarn. So if they're not blue and green, there'll be other similar yarns that I have to match, you know, to go with these colors. Or maybe they'll just be white and pink. Who knows? For the butterflies. The idea is that they'll be the colors that come out of this, which could, you know, there's white in there, so I could easily do white, even though right there that wasn't looking too white, but it is white. So that's where I'm at with that. I think so far the design is, I'm not upset with it for my first time. I think it's kind of cute. And I spent probably an hour and a half. I mean, because I had to Google everything to figure out how to make it. Well, not everything, but some of the things, and then copy. And I wasn't doing 72. It's going to be 60. I got 60 blocks this way and 48 blocks this way. So it should be 5 foot by 4 foot. I think that's good for, I mean, she's 8. And then, you know, if it stays nice, if she likes it and it stays nice, she can always throw it on her bedded couch, you know, or not. But that's what I got going on. And I did want to follow up because just real quick, you don't have to listen to this because the yarny stuff is done. But on the, maybe the last, not the last video, but the video before that, excuse me, I said something about dyeing my hair. And you guys, this is a funny story. My hair is naturally white, gray, whatever you want to call it. It's because of my vitiligo. And I know if you have white or gray hair, it's because it's a lack of pigment in your hair. Your hair doesn't pigment anymore. Well, I have that vitiligo that makes my immune system attack my pigmentation cells. God, I'm sorry again. So anyway, that is all through my head. And my hair, I've been losing my pigmentation in my hair since I was 17. But I didn't know that's what it was at the time. Doesn't really matter. My hair does not take hair color. When it was blonde, I used to dye it blonde, bleach it blonde, because then the white didn't show up as much. It blended in and it looked like, actually like I had natural highlights. So it would take some color to the blonde, but like you could never tell. It was really hard to tell ever if I had roots because there's just not that much pigment. That being said, I wanted to streak my hair red and blue for Memorial Day. So I got off my video and I watched a couple of videos on how to food color your hair, or should I use Kool-Aid, and don't use Kool-Aid with sugar in it because that makes your hair sticky. I go, okay. So I watch these young girls do this. Brunettes, mind you. And the one girl, the video that I decided to follow, said, if you just do straight hair dye, food coloring in your hair, it'll last a few weeks. But I had planned on getting my hair cut this past like 2 days ago, so I would have had it in there about a week, and then most of it would have been cut out. So I'm all right with that. But she said put aloe gel, mix it in with your food coloring, and that will protect your hair. Like, okay, cool, I'll do that. I went to 3 stores, could not find aloe gel anywhere, but I have these big aloe plants at home. So I went home and I cut off a couple of my leaves and I squished them down into a bowl, and I added bright red food coloring, thinking that with the white of my hair it would tone it down. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. I also had white food coloring, believe this or not. So I mixed this up and I put on rubber gloves, mixed it up, went in the bathroom, and it was dripping. And it dripped and it was bright red, and it didn't, like, it was drippy. Let's just go that way. So I'm like, oh, hell with it. And I just made it all red, and it was bright red. And I got scared because I do not want to walk around with fire engine red hair no matter what. because I thought if the red works, then I'm going to add the blue. Maybe I'll even end up with some purple when they mix together. How cute would that be? Because I love purple. So I left it in about 5 minutes. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm really scared. So I jump in the shower. And I rinse my hair and I rinse my hair until it's not running pink anymore. And I wash my hair. And I get out of the shower. And this is what my hair looked like. Not one strand of red. I know. That's what I said. So I'm like, okay. That's wrong. That's just totally wrong. I'm going to do it again. But this time I added the white. Because I didn't want it to be fire engine red. And thought, well, maybe I'll end up with pink. It was still really red in my... And it was gel. But it was still really red. I just added the white right to the red that I had. Mixed it up. And this time I just like did part of my hair over here. And like I kind of went underneath. And like I got a technique now. And I just will have this little bit of pink shining through. And to hell with the red and the blue. Because, you know, with my hair being white, red, white, blue would be kind of cute. That was the original plan. So I put the red in. Or it was still pretty red, even though I added white. It was still pretty red. And I let it in and I left it dry. My hair was completely dry and stiff. Really stiff. So now I'm going to go to bed. And I've had this in my hair an hour. But I'm not going to bed with this stiff stuff in my hair. So I thought if I will just brush it, comb it out, and make it not be stiff, and then it'll be good. So I comb it. And my comb turns pink. And I'm like, gosh, oops. I'm like, this isn't good. So I wash off the comb. And I'm like, well, if it's dyed, the hair will stay, right? And I'm not going to put this pink food coloring all over my sheets. So I rinsed my hair out. Completely white. Completely white. There you go. That is why I do not have red hair, or pink, or purple, or blue. Probably will never have pink or purple or blue, but I'm going to tell you what. The girl in the video with her dark brown hair, she dyed her hair purple or red, I can't remember. And her hair was, you could see the color in her dark brown hair. My white hair, not a darn thing. So I did attempt it. It did not work. Sorry. And I would have showed you had it worked, but there was no sense in quick making a video to show you my Memorial Day hair when I had no Memorial Day hair. I got the white part of the red, white, and blue. And that's it. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, and being part of my yarn and today hair journey. I guess the bottom line is I'm bound and determined to be a white-headed old lady for the rest of my life because there's no color going in there. Food coloring does. My hands did have red on them. Even with the gloves on, I did manage to get red on my fingers, and they were red for 2 days. There you go. So, if anybody else that has silver white hair has ever tried food coloring, let me know if it worked for you, because it sure didn't work for me. That's all I got for you guys. Oh, one more thing. I did get my knit crate. I was very disappointed. I knew that it was going to be the dyeing yarn. And I am debating whether I wanted to try to dye it or not. But I thought the natural color would be nice. And even if I'd never dyed it, I would probably still like just having a very good natural color. But the color, I don't even like the knit. It's not white. And it's not really cream. I don't know. I didn't really like the color. I didn't bring it with me. It's sitting at home on the kitchen table. But it's a much thinner yarn than what I had thought it was going to be. Because they do thicker yarns than this. And I thought for color dyeing, a thicker yarn might have been good for those, you know, you're doing this. Probably most people have never dyed yarn. So I thought that the yarn would be thicker. I don't think I'm going to do it. And it's not white like I thought the base would be a white base, which probably means it's not bleached, which is probably a good thing. And I don't know if I'm going to try to dye it. Maybe I can get Amanda to do it with me, and maybe it'll be fun and we'll do it together. Or maybe I'll send it to somebody and ask them to dye it for me. I don't know. I have somebody in mind, actually, to see if they would want to dye it with their yarn. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll play with it. And excuse me, I wasn't disappointed because it was to be dyed, because I knew that. I was disappointed, and it's very soft. I mean, the yarn is nice. It's just not what I was expecting. I was expecting a thicker yarn. I don't know why I was. And I was expecting the color not to be this off white, not cream, not white. I mean, it's a natural. I guess it's just natural. But it's not necessarily a color that will be easily incorporated into something else, even though it's a neutral. I don't know. I just looked at it and thought it's boring. It's a boring color. Tan is boring, but tan doesn't have to be a boring color. My walls in my house are off white, and I totally love that color. But this wasn't that color, and so I don't know. I just wasn't thrilled with it, and because I really did think I'm not going to dye this, but I will use it with, one of the knit crate yarns that they've given us. And I don't think I have anything that's similar in the knit crate yarn. I didn't look at it real closely though, so and maybe I should just embrace it and be fun with it, and let's dye it. I think I got orange and yellow, I don't know, which I will totally love those colors. So maybe we'll just be ambitious and give that and then maybe I could dye it and match my hair. I didn't try Kool-Aid. Dye yarn and my hair at the same time. There we go. All right, gang. Thanks for hanging in. I'm going to go. I got crocheting to do. Roy's taking a nap. And it's a gloomy day. But crochet cheers me up. So there we go. Talk to you later. See you next time. Bye.